This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction to the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the last Rays POSTCAST of the season. My name is Jonathan Shields. Please you guys go follow me on Twitter at Johnny10Shields. And the Rays end the season in a very anticlimactic way, to say at the very least. An unfortunate end to what's been an unfortunate season, really, since June for the most part. So, the Rays lose 13-4. Blue Jays are 13-4. Blue Jays really put on the Rays late, and score just kind of got out of hand. But we're going to talk about how the season's over. What was your guys' best moment of the season? If you guys are in here now, drop down in the comments below. What was your guys' best moment of the season? What will 2026 look like for this group? And we'll look ahead to that. But first, we got to talk about the game. We got to talk about how it was just a poor all-around pitching performance.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Not great from Ian Seymour today. Seymour only goes 3 1/3, 7 hits, 6 earned. Still somehow ended up with 7 strikeouts. So, when you go 3 1/3, you get 10 outs. 7 of those outs were recorded via the strikeout. But anytime you give up a home run in the first inning, it's tough to come back from that. And that's why we're going to that being the turning point in this one.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
It's that home grand slam by Kirk in the first, and then he had another 2-run homer in the fifth. Just not great. Look, the Blue Jays needed this game. They needed the sweep, and they got it. You have to credit Toronto. They were really good this entire series, and now they get home field advantage throughout the American League playoffs. And Mark Thomas said I tweet that the Rogers Center was rocking today, and it's one of the best home fields in baseball. So I know that was important to Blue Jays people, Blue Jays fans, and they got it. They did what they need to do. They just put on the Rays, and the Rays, to their credit, responded. So you get Aranda continuing to show out. I mean, Aranda comes back and has like 5 RBIs in 3 games. As he hit the one in the first and the third, and then Mangum singles to make it 5-4. So that was the Rays pushing back, fighting all the way to the end. But then after that, Toronto really just opened the game up. And that 7th inning was just an embarrassment of riches from them. Capped off by the George Springer homer, and he's really had a nice bounce back season. Good to see George Springer have that bounce back year in his lower to mid 30s. Man, it was really really impressive season for George Springer today. But unfortunately, that ends the Rays season, and with Seymour, it obviously wasn't good. But I do want to give a shout out to Jonathan Aranda, who was our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Yeah, it's Jonathan Aranda, who is just a professional hitter. I'm excited and hopefully he ends up playing, 150 games next year instead of just 105 he played this year. He's a special player. He's just a professional hitter, and he has really really been great this year. And it wouldn't be at the end of a race season without Kevin Kelly giving up a home run, man. I mean, he just continues to wear it down the stretch. I mean, there really wasn't a Rays pitcher that performed great today. You had Uceta giving up the 2 runs. Kelly gave up 4. His ERA is going to end up right around 6. Even Baker came in and allowed a run. But, it's just not great from any of the Rays pitchers today. And, and that's kind of a microcosm of what's caused the Rays the most problems. The Rays blew way more games than really any time I can remember, to be completely honest with you. But let's start to look ahead to what this season was. So again, we have a lot of new people in here now from at the beginning. So I want to ask you guys, what was the best part of the Rays season? What was your guys' favorite moment? What is your guys' least favorite moment? We're going to go through all the ups and downs of the season. So, obviously the season got out to a hot start with a walk-off home run by Cam Meisner. But the start of the year was a big struggle for the Rays. When we first started doing the postcast, they were not great. So our first postcast was April 19th. And at that point, they were 8-12. And the Rays fell all the way to 14-18. And then they were 16-21. And then they went on that stretch where they where they took 2 out of 3 from the Brewers, took 2 out of 3 from Toronto, lost a series to Miami, and then from them on, they were unbelievable. They won 6 in a row, and they kept stacking those ones. They won 4 in a row, and they just weren't losing. That's when they were the best team in baseball throughout the entire month of June, and got to a season high 11 games over 500 Thursday, June 26th in Kansas City. But kind of from then on, everything went crazy. Obviously, the 22-8 game in Baltimore is probably the lowest point of the season for me, just because that's when everything that's when everything turned around in a bad way for the Rays. Ever since then, they just didn't. They lost series to Baltimore, lost series to the A's, lost series to Minnesota, lost series to Detroit, and then they got swept in a 4-game series in Boston. And the Rays went from 11 games above 500 to only 3 games above 500 in a span of about almost 3 weeks. And then the second half of the season starts with a bang. You take 2 out of 3 from the Orioles, and then a frustrating series against the White Sox where you lose the series, you get swept by the Reds, you lose 3 straight to the Yankees, you lose a series to the Dodgers, you finally win a series out west in Anaheim, then you get swept by Seattle. And another one of those gut-wrenching games was a Friday, August 8th game in Seattle where Griffin Jax gave up that 3-run homer to Cal Raleigh. That one was really a punch in the gut. The Rays dropped all the way to 5 games below 500 there, and then eventually, after an August 21st loss to St. Louis, dropped to 6 games under 500 on August 21st. But then they battled back, took 2 out of 3 from St. Louis, won the first game in Cleveland, and right when you thought stuff was going right, the Rays get walked off in Cleveland. That's another moment where you look at where it's like, man, that game, the game against the Phillies way earlier in the year where Caminero was playing first base, and the game against Seattle were really 3. I pointed like, man, those are tough. And then they win 7 in a row, and they get to 2 games over 500, and then they end the game from September 5th to September 28th. They muster just. Let me find the spot I was just at. They muster just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins. Yep, they go from 71-69 to 77-85. They saved one of the worst stretches of the season for last, and that's how this frustrating season kind of came to an end. But we're gonna have a lot more to talk about. But for the last time this year, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll look ahead to 2026. What's 2026 going to look like in this last Rays postcast? This episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Caffeine just got a flavor upgrade. 5 Hour Energy shots deliver tasty caffeine in 17 bold flavors. Each 2-ounce shot packs the caffeine of a premium 12-ounce cup of coffee, plus B vitamins with nutrients and 0 sugar, 0 crashes. That's what I love most. What I love most, how portable they are. Big taste, tiny shot. You can take it anywhere and get that boost when you need it. And I've been trying all the different flavors, and any of them are perfect to try if you guys need that little caffeine boost. Enough with boring flavors, caffeine. It's time to give your caffeine flavor an upgrade with 5 Hour Energy shots. Get the flavors you love or be bold and try something new in store and online at www.5hourenergy.com or Amazon today. This episode is also brought to you by Zippix. Zippix toothpicks. Whether you're looking for nicotine satisfaction or energy boost, Zippix has you covered with their nicotine and caffeine-infused toothpicks. For nicotine users, Zippix provides a discreet way to satisfy your cravings in a hand-to-mouth habit without vaping or smoking. Zippix can be a helpful tool as if you want to reduce your dependence on vaping. Available in 6 great flavors with 2 milligram and 3 milligram nicotine options. And if you need energy without the crash, their caffeine toothpicks are a game changer. And the best part about it, you don't need to be into nicotine to use it. They have the caffeine toothpicks, and they're great before big meetings or long drives. So go to zippixtoothpicks.com and use code LOCKEDON for 10% off your first order. Must be 21 to order. Warning, nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's zippixtoothpicks.com, promo code LOCKEDON. Zip more, smoke less with Zippix toothpicks. And lastly, this episode is brought to you by Nutrafol. You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually works. There are so many products out there. It's hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. That's why I just give Nutrafol a closer look. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. And now Nutrafol is the official hair growth partner of Major League Baseball. You can feel great about what you're putting into your body. Says Nutrafol hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and NSF continents certified the gold standard in third-party qualifications for supplements. And the best part about it, it's easy to add to your day. Four pills with a meal. No prescription needed. It's easy. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Find out why Nutrafol is the best hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. So if you guys are in the live, go ahead and leave a comment as we wrap up the last Rays postcast of the season. So we got the kind of the highs and lows of the season, and then we talked about what's the best moment of the season. Before I get to you guys, I'll say mine. The opening day walk-off, or not the opening day, the opening day walk-off's up there, but when Jonathan Aranda hit the walk-off the day of the first postcast, that will always be, a special moment for me. Brandon Lau's home run to tie the game in Baltimore, and in that game with that crazy comeback. Those are just a few that stick out to me for sure. But, what's 2026 going to look like? Who's going to be the shortstop? Who are the Rays going to add in free agency? They got to add a few guys. What's the rotation going to look like? What's the bullpen going to look like in the back end? So, yeah, it is a jam-packed offseason coming up for the Rays with the first under the new ownership. So now it's time to get to the comments for the last time. Again, if you guys are in here, please get into the comments. We'll start with Gary, as we've done a ton. The Blue Jays were a team on a mission this weekend, and that mission was to win the AL East. And they were not a lot about the Rays or anyone getting their way. Congratulations to them. Yeah, they played great baseball. Nothing bad to say. I love when Yankees fans comes in here and said that we costed them the ALDS. The Yankees only winning 90 whatever games and losing the season series to the Blue Jays costed them the ALDS. It's as simple as that. Get to a place where you control your own destiny. It's as simple as that. So Gary says, no getting around it. The Rays played very poorly for most of the part of July, especially on the road. Get swept by Boston, Cincinnati, Seattle, and Toronto. That's 0-13 right there. Yeah, not pretty. As we go to our genius, he says, Carson Williams call-up plus his maiden Major League home run. Favorite moment of the season for him. Love that. That is a great moment. I love Legos. He says that Ian Seymour looked off. I hope he's better than this next season. Also, do you think Shane Baz will move to the bullpen as reliever? He's been inconsistent this season. Not to start. He will not be. He will be in the rotation next year to start. The Rays, our front office love his stuff. So yeah, we'll see on that. Doug Bautista says, Jonathan, thank you for everything this season. It's been a forum for us to openly discuss the ups and downs of the season. I appreciate the forum you've created. Looking forward to the future. As am I. And thank you to all you guys for always joining in what's been a crazy up and down season for the Rays. As we go to Mike Gage, he says, who's a full-time shortstop next year? Taylor, if healthy. I think the Rays are going to lean away from that. I think the Rays might go try to spend money for agency on another shortstop. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. If the answer was Carson Williams, Taylor Walls, or other, I would honestly lean other. I don't think the Rays are going to go to opening day with Carson Williams or Taylor Walls as their starting shortstop. So I don't know. That would be interesting to see. As I love like says, but I don't know. But I think Aranda's walk off against the Yankees was the best. Yeah, I would tend to agree. Yeah. Mike H says it was obviously during that 6-week period when the hottest team in ball. His best moment for him. Yeah, that was awesome. Very awesome. He says, Gary says it'll be an interesting offseason. We'll miss the postcast, but look forward to next season. Highlight of the year, the monster breakout season of Junior, Aranda, Chandler, and Carson playing. Yeah, a lot of great moments. Jonathan Aranda and Junior coming there having these type of seasons has to be up there. As we got our genius, he says the postcast was an unexpected surprise. To be honest, glad it happened. Very happy that you guys enjoyed it. I love doing it. As we got Doug Bautista, he says, yes, Kevin Kelly, hate to beat up the guy, but it's been rough. I'm still jarred by the home run against the White Sox, so where he imploded. Hope he gets it together. Yeah, he was really bad this year. Simple as that. As we go to Gary, he says, my World Series predictions, Phillies over Mariners at 6. Yeah, you guys go ahead and drop your World Series predictions in there. As we go to Mike, he says, who are the 3 outfielders next year? I think Chandler would be there. The others, I don't know. They will give Josh Lowe another chance. Chandler will be there. I think Josh Lowe only plays against righties. If Josh Lowe is playing every day against lefties, he hasn't proved over the course of his career that he can hit lefties. So Josh Lowe is going to be a platoon bat. And then, I don't know, I think Jake Mangum is going to be the 4th guy, but he plays more than like Chris Romero did as a 4th guy, obviously, today. So, yeah, I think they're going to sign someone. They need a right-handed bat, whether that's Johnny DeLuca, whether that's someone they sign, but we'll see. That is my number one priority for this new ownership group. As we go to Douglas, he says, need to have faith in the ownership group. They're heavily vetted by MLB. they have signal they want to keep baseball ops together and hope they spend money to keep our guys. Yeah, but their number one priority is going to be finding a stadium. So I don't know how much money that they will spend in year one. As my guy, he said, "Will I come back occasionally to address news and moves?" I don't know. I don't think so, but that's why the Locked On guys, the normal show, does their thing. Again, make sure you guys are checking them out as well. They've been fantastic. So Lauren Kendrick, she says, "My World Series prediction: the Cubs will win." Yeah, the Cubs, they could get hot. They could definitely win. They've been really good for a lot of the parts of this season. So for the last time this year, you guys get any comments you have left in there. Make sure you guys leave a like and comment on this last postcast of the season. 140 postcasts we did next year. Next year, that number will be more than 155. We'll have at least 15 more, obviously starting from the beginning. So yeah, we'll have at least 160. There's already a few days off the top that that I won't be able to do, but we'll do more. The point is, we did 140 starting on April 19th. So we're going to get right near, if not surpass 160 episodes, right near 162 next year. So again, you guys, any last ditch comments, please get them in. But again, I wanted to take this moment to tell you guys, thank you guys for joining every single one of these postcasts. I mean, there's guys like Gary, who's in here almost every night. I love Lego's in here a ton. Just a ton of people. Mike was in here talking to Douglas Bautista in here a ton. So, I mean, this is you guys are a main reason of why I was able to do this. So yeah, it was a pleasure to be able to do this with you guys every single day. And again, you guys are what makes the postcast great. We all love the Rays, and we will all continue to root for the Rays. But unfortunately, hopefully next year we'll have some postseason postcasts. But unfortunately, this is the last one for 2025. But again, I wanted to take this last kind of minute here to thank you guys, because everyone joining live, it's been awesome. And we've had great moments. The Rays coming back and being Baltimore, we had almost 50 people in here live, to just the everyday people that are in here every day. So again, I wanted to shout out, and I know I'm missing people that are in here fairly regularly. Our Genus was in here a lot during the course of the season, but it just again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for being in here and making this a thing. So anyone that has been listening on audio, anyone that's been just watching the replays, thank you guys as well. And for the last time this season, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in March when the Rays are in St. Louis to take on the Cardinals, opening up that season with a 10-game road trip before they get back home. But again, for the last time this season, and always Rays up, and I appreciate everything you guys have done to make this season unforgettable for me. Rays lose their last game of the season, the Blue Jays, but it's been a great first year of the postcast, and I cannot wait to see you guys next year.